Actually,
it's more like
30 hurting and crying.
Can I run away with you? I wanna get lost in love, baby. To all those pretty girls. This one's for you. This one's for you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 30 Hurting and Crying. I'm Gotti.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm Helly.
And I'm B.
You guys remember B? She's been here like 100 times. Nah.
100 times.
Impossible, but I appreciate the hyperbole.
She's been here pretty often. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
everybody.
I think I'm your longest running guest.
No, that's not a surprise, though, you know?
I'm not surprised. I don't mind being here. But it is about having the time because it's not every day.
Yeah.
How are you?
Here.
Yep. Surviving. Thriving.
I'm barely surviving.
Amen.
I'm hoping to thrive, though, you know?
Aren't we all?
Yeah. It's been a rough week. But I hope that everybody else out there has had a good one. It is Wednesday today. We are halfway through the week. So I didn't say it on the last podcast, but it's hump day and Friday's right around the corner. So.
Oh,
nice.
You.
I did want to say, I didn't finish saying last time about core memories. If you guys listened to the last podcast, we were talking about different core memories that we had. But I thought something interesting about looking back at my core memories was looking at it from an adult perspective. Like, we all got into the car to go to the liquor store. And in my child mind, I was like, oh, that's so fun. It's nice. But then, like, as an adult, you're like, well, why did you take all of us away from the house? Like, what was going on at the house? You know, that's what I started thinking as an adult. Like, what was the instance that we all couldn't be in the house for? Or that it went negative. And I started thinking, like,
Well, was anybody else in the house?
I can't remember because I only remember like the little moments, you know? So I'm like, I don't really know what the whole thing was. And then as an adult, I start to reflect back like, well, what was it? And then it turns negative. Instead of it being like this great memory as a kid, like, oh, we went to the liquor store, got to pick out whatever we wanted. Now I'm like, but why were we all taken from the house? Like, but that's the adult way that I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wow, like,
Rewind.
your mindset really does kind of change from childhood into adulthood. Like, the way you see the world,
Girl, my mind
gets
is not
tainted.
changed.
I was going to say, because mine hasn't really either. When she was telling me, you know, I remember that day. And I was like, well, I just figured, you know, if I think back on it, I'm like, it was unexpected, but it made it like all the more fun. And then when I think back as an adult, I was like, you know what? Maybe it was tax season. Maybe she had just gotten her taxes back or something, or had like, you know, a promotion. She had some extra money and she was like, I'm gonna get all the kids a snack. Like, church is over. Maybe she knew, she was like, I'm gonna go check on the kids. And then it was like, okay, I'll do this.
But the thing is, she hasn't done it since, right?
No, as far as I can remember, it was just the one time.
So
That's so
what,
weird.
That's what makes it like a little bit more
Suspicious.
But this is why we're yin and yang. I think in anything is I try to be positive outward, but like my mindset is very negative. I have to actively put myself into like a positive mindset. Like, no, that's not how it was, you know? And then like she's automatically positive.
I think I'm positive about other people. It's easier to be positive about other people than it is to be positive about yourself, I think. Because you know your innermost thoughts, you know? Not everybody knows that. So, you know, I feel like I can say like I'm a shitty person.
Thank
because
you.
I know what I think in my head all the time. And I'm not nice. I'm not nice to like everybody. I'm not nice to, you know, like myself.
in your mind.
In my mind.
Yeah.
So like
on the outer,
that's what I'm saying. But
on the outer, girl, you do not portray
But I'm not a shitty person. I can tell myself I'm a shitty.
Said you were. No. It's because you know.
I can say I'm a shitty person because I know, like, you know, myself. So I'm like, I think I'm a shitty person. Outwardly, I know I am a good person. I don't want to be shitty.
Yeah.
I actively like shut down the negative thoughts that I have. I don't want to say I force myself into positive thoughts, but that's how positive thinking comes about. It doesn't just happen, especially if you have a negative mindset. You do have to choose the more positive mindset. It's not easy to think positively all the time. It takes work.
It does, yeah. I'll be trying to, when I have my shitty thoughts, you know what I mean? I'll be like,
don't say it.
Ooh, I wish that bitch would get ran over, right? And then I gotta be like, no. Think, no, that's fucked up.
Don't put that out there.
Yeah, no. I didn't say that, you know.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't wish that on no one. I'm sorry, guys.
Rewind.
See, but it's things like that. I've told someone before, like, you can be like a shitty person, but you were raised better. You know, so you think back on like, what are my actual morals? That's not something I would actually do or want to say, or, you know, I'm better than that. Like... Yeah, but you're like your immediate action, you know? So it's like, no, I can be a shitty person, you know? And sometimes I am a shitty person, you know? That's why when I tell you guys like, oh, like Forky, because I'm trash, and you guys are like, why do you keep saying you're like a bad person? I mean, because I can be. I think everybody has the capacity to be like shitty people, you know? It's choosing not to be, though.
Yeah, so many studies have like been conducted, and it just shows how shitty people can be, like humanity in general. So it's active work to be a good person, to even want to be a good person, because it's a lot easier to just be
a shitty person.
Yeah. to be inconsiderate, to be more like selfish. Those things I feel like are easy because you just turn off all of like your thoughts of other people or even your emotions. You can choose to like not care, or you can choose to care. And I think that for me, I care a lot.
I care a lot about a little bit of people. Yeah, because there's not a lot of people that I can give that much shit about. You know, like I can be listening to what somebody's saying and I forget instantly what you just said. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
but it's because you don't care. You're not interested.
I don't really care enough to like keep that in my memory.
Yeah.
But with like people who I give a shit about, I'm like, okay, you got my full attention, and I'm gonna try to remember that because I will doze off a little bit. I'll ask you to repeat it. Yeah, I'll ask you to repeat it.
I kept doing that to her because I was like, I'm not listening. Like, and I know what she was. I'm like, I know you're telling me something, and I'm trying to like
focus.
Yeah. And then I would look at her and be like, I wasn't listening. Like, what were you saying? And
one more time.
Or, yeah.
I'm really listening now.
Then it's just like, okay, which part did you like stop? What do you remember? I'll start from there.
Mm-hmm. It was actually funny because I feel like her she stayed at my apartment this weekend, but it's because she's helping me like pack everything, right? And I was like, we're both just quoting movies, and like it's movies that only me and her know. So we were like, she said, you know, there's one like I always want to do, and as soon as she said the movie, I was like, like I said it, and she was like, and nobody knows it.
Nobody knows that movie. It's called Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams.
It's Robin Williams, though.
It's a great movie. I don't know
it. So what's the quote?
It's not even really a quote. It's more of like
it's a scene.
It's a scene, but it's so he's a robot and he makes like this facial expression in robot form.
Well, he jumps out a window and he's all kind of messed up. So when they ask him a question, he turns around and looks at them.
They're like, Andrew. And then he turns and like he's responding, but he says, yeah. But when he says, yeah, his like eyes all messed up. So he goes like, yeah. And it's just the way that it happened. It was the funniest scene to us when we were kids. So we used to always do it to each other as kids. And so whenever I think like to say yeah to somebody, sometimes I think that. Or like if I'm rubbing my eye and somebody asks me a question, I think of that scene because I'm like, y'all. But nobody else has seen that movie. So the only person that I can ever really like have that that quote with is Helly or like my siblings. And every time that I've asked somebody like, have you seen Bicentennial Man? And most people haven't.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I don't know that the quote.
I think we talked about that movie in high school before too.
The Pepsi girl in it, the little Pepsi girl.
The one from Polly?
Do you know she's Jesse Eisenberg's sister?
I did not, but you know what? Wow.
Yeah, actually, I just seen that the other day.
Yeah.
Do you know the little Pepsi Cola girl with curly hair? No? She was a commercial.
I feel like you had to have seen her somewhere because she was like all over the place, I think in the 90s. She was like the it kid.
Yeah, she was like a cute little girl with dimples. But yeah, she was in the movie Bicentennial Man. Anyways, we had our twin moments, and I was like, wow, like we were just weird together the whole weekend. It was cool.
But it was also something you said too, because you were like, you know what? Nobody knows me like you do. And I can't act like you said my most authentic self, I think. I can only be my most authentic self around you.
I think because it's just, I'm weird. Like,
no, same.
Like I was drinking like juice or something, and then she was in front of me, and I was just like, but because it was good, but also like, I don't know, I just felt like doing it, and then, but I wouldn't do that like if there's other people, like, you know what I mean? It's just weird. But because she was in front of me, and I seen her look at me when I did it, but like she didn't say anything because it was just like, all right, whatever, you know. And I'm like, but somebody else would have been like you okay, or what was that?
Oh, okay, I do know that girl. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
That's what I was like, she was all over the place. I know you know her face.
Bar.
Yeah, they have their own language that literally only they know. So,
Twins.
I think that's what I realized again. Like, because we exactly like the cameraman was like, oh, like I haven't seen her in a while. Mm-hmm. And I forget that, like, you know, it's my sister. So when I see her, it's like, oh, I, you know, pick right back up. But we don't see each other that often or hang out anymore because we're not. I'm in Tracy.
Together,
she's in San Bruno. Yeah, that's a ways away. So when we do like hang out again, I'm like, oh, it's just like when we were kids, you know. She's like quoting Oliver and Company. That's another movie that like was for us. It was like, oh, we used to rerun that movie over and over and over and over.
Run it back.
And there's like another scene in that movie that me and her will quote to each other, and I'm like, nobody else knows that though. It's just me and you because that was our movie, you know. But having that with somebody, I'm like, oh, but I have my twin, you know. Like I don't think people have like, you know, that kind of connection.
I mean, not nobody. People who have twins have it.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a twin, we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, I have siblings and we have like our things, but it's not. I didn't grow up with someone like day one. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
side by side,
literally.
It was cool. I always wanted to be an independent person. I was like, I am Bianca. She is Angelica. We're not the twins. I'm Bianca. She's Angelica.
You know what's funny though? I don't have very many twins in my life, right? So, in my family really either. So when I talk about you guys, if I'm talking about you together,
it's the twins.
Also, the twins, and they know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't have to be like Kelly and B.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's how you get grouped together. Even in high school, we talked about that because there was a lot of groups of twins in our high school.
Yeah,
there was a good at least 5 that I can think of.
I knew of like 3. You two. I forget.
There were some in younger grades too.
Yeah, and then Alexis brothers.
There was the triplets actually.
Triplets.
There was triplets.
The
Alexis brothers. Yeah. Who?
There was triplets. It was 2 girls and a boy.
The Edogans. Edogans?
No. That's yeah. Was that the last one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was 2 girls and a boy.
I didn't know.
They were triplets though. But that's the interesting part is when you're a twin, you know,
Yeah.
like who all the other twins are, because we started saying like, "Oh, what's up, twin?" to like Ayana and Jamil. They were twin too, because they were twins. So it's like, "Oh, what's up, twin?" Because everybody's a twin. So then
Not everybody's.
well,
Let's correct
in
them
that
right
world,
now.
in the twin world.
I try to like squeeze my way in there, but there's only so much you can squeeze in.
There's only so much space when they're attached at the hip.
Literally. I tried. I'm like,
Should have sat in the middle.
B wanted to sit in the middle because she's
Sorry.
bonding right now.
Oh, you want? We could switch.
That's okay.
Okay. I like the pink
I'm
microphone.
I'm the outsider right now.
No, you're not.
No, I'm just being jealous. 'Cause I was supposed to go over, and they didn't call me.
I fell asleep.
We both fell asleep because we were up hecka late the night before. Not to mention, okay, like it was a lot of like little things that like you just had to go through stuff. And I told her, I was like, I feel like I was the best person to help because I know you. I know what you would want to keep. I know how you would want to organize stuff.
You know what's funny though? That she said there's stuff that she wanted to throw away, but Haley was like, no.
Yeah. But it was because it was so that one of them. Okay, hold on. Wait a second. There was a shirt, and she was gonna get rid of it.
Goodness.
And I was like, no, you can't get rid of that shirt because one, it's it's old, but it's in such good condition. But also, she thought it was just like a transformer.
No, it's not a transformer. I thought she had a Gundam shirt, and it's like a anime about like Transformers. Very similar concept. Anyways, it was on her shirt, and it still looked new. But I was like, I don't even think she's into that anime. Why would she have this shirt? And I was like, she could donate it. I'm sure somebody would like appreciate it. And so I had it in the pile when I was like, oh, you know, I think these clothes like you're done with. You could donate these. These ones you might still be interested in. Take a look. And then when I was showing her them, she was like, no, I want that. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah, it's a BART.
It's a BART car, like a transformer.
Like a
Transformed into like a
Yes,
robot. Yeah.
and the back behind him has the
all the
BART
lines.
lines.
And I was
The
like,
BART train lines. So then when she
even
realized
notice.
what it was, she was like, oh, and I was like, you can't get rid of that shirt. Like, I don't even know who made that shirt or where I got it. Like, and it's in great condition. And she was like, I didn't even realize that's what it was. So I'm like, see, you're not even looking. You're just like,
paying attention.
you don't even know what
it
you're
was
doing.
like 3:00 in the morning and none of the lights were on. And I was just like, nope. Because these were clothes that she had when we lived together. So I was like, I've seen all of these so many times. Like, you don't need them anymore.
Yeah. And it is true. I'm getting rid of a lot of clothes and donations. And then that's the other reason, like, we were up late Friday packing and then woke up really early Saturday to go do the helping the less fortunate with my dad and his church. So even there, it was like all the sweaters and sweats and beanies, scarves, things that I've been getting rid of, like we took there. And that was like an early morning thing too. So then that was like early morning, taking stuff to storage. It was just a long day early yesterday. So then by the time we got back, I crashed out. Yeah. So then we woke up and started packing again, like at night. So it was already later in the day. And I didn't want you to have to like drive over there, you know. But yeah, it was a very busy weekend this weekend.
Busy
We
and
record on
productive.
Sundays, guys. Sorry.
Spoiler.
I know.
It's not what
It's not like we haven't said it before. That's just how our schedule works. But yeah, so I've been moving. Like I said, I'm going to be back here in the Bay Area. And that's been a whole process, just kind of getting rid of stuff. So I've been grateful that B came around to help. I know you wanted to help. So I appreciate everybody that's, you know.
Yeah, and thank you. You helped. Thank you for bringing stuff for the less fortunate.
I was saying homeless, but we're supposed to say less fortunate now. That's what I
Less
was
fortunate
told.
is polite. I think
You know why?
unhoused.
Because I think
They don't have a home.
People
I know,
without
you know
the
what?
unhoused.
Another way of
the
saying
thing
it
is,
is
yeah.
homeless.
Listen.
What are we doing?
What do you mean?
Listen.
Different ways of saying the same
Some
thing.
people who came were not homeless. They
No.
just don't have a lot.
So, and that's actually that's why I was like,
That's one of the shitty things that I said before we went.
Because she was like, people are just gonna come and take stuff, and then we're like, no, but people were coming that like there are warm
They
clothes
needed
there,
it.
and
Yes.
there was even like it was a nice thing to go and do and kind of see. And then
Honestly, I saw some people getting prayed for, and the way that they were crying, and they just were like, I needed this.
Yeah.
And this kind of sounds fucked up, but like I see a lot of that like on TikTok or whatever. Like it's crazy to see it like right in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I
IRL.
mean? And
But it's also
somebody
not something that you're recording. You know, you're doing it just out of the
But
kindness
like
of your heart.
to see it, dude, I almost started crying when I saw one of those ladies. Like, she was like, "Where can I find you guys again?" Like, I was like, "Damn, that girl was touched."
Yeah,
Like,
it's nice.
She needed it.
We went over by like the BART station, and there was this guy that was he was there, and my mom had asked like, can I say a prayer for you, and can I offer you prayer? And he was like, I could always use prayer. And then like, immediately she prays for him. And then this other, like, it's just when you have those interactions with people, I think I'm not super religious, but I grew up in church. So there is like a belief that I have in a higher power, and everybody I think has that to some degree. So being able to share that and go out and be like, you can at least have that connection. You know what I mean? When you're down and out or at the very lowest in your life, or you feel like you have nothing. Sometimes you actually have nothing, and sometimes you're just in that place of like, I feel like I have nothing. There's a void. And I think that like having a belief system, whatever that belief system is, being able to fall back on it, I think you need it in those moments, So going out and doing that and feeling like I said, I think 2026 for me is finding purpose and fulfillment, because that's what life is about, Okay, someone else talk.
I'm coming up blank.
Anyways. No, I mean, I feel that because I mean, I've said it before where I feel like I'm in the middle of it, I never really grew up in the church, but I would go every now and again. And I grew up Catholic, so it's, a lot of it I spaced out on. I'm not going to lie. I was a kid. I'm just like, la, 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 and it echoes in there. So it's pretty, as a kid, I'm like, just doing shit you're not supposed to be doing,
Yeah, we would too.
But it's just, I struggle now because I feel like I know there's a higher power. I just don't really have that relationship with it. I feel like, and this sounds maybe weird, but like sometimes I feel like lightweight ashamed to go and not know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
That's why to me, I feel like I don't think that there should be a set rule. You know what I mean? I don't think there should be rules to how you connect to something. I think that it's how you feel.
I wouldn't even
if you have a moment in your car where you're like, oh, I'm just feeling so grateful right now, or to me, I feel like gratitude is the same as prayer. You know what I mean? I think having your meditation is the same as prayer. Like finding those moments in your life where you're connecting to whatever it is that you're believing in that moment. To me, personally, I feel like everyone has their belief system. Whatever you feel connects you, run with that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a feeling to me, how you feel in your inside, that's what matters the most. So I don't follow that there's a rule set to what you should be doing. You know, I think follow your heart. If you feel it in the moment and you feel like, oh, this is when I should say thank you for something, or I'm so grateful for this in this moment, that I run with that in those moments, or I try to, I definitely have my days where everything is burning and fuck this shit, but then I have my days where I'm like, oh no, like, it was a good day, and I think that's the balance of life. You have your gives and your takes, but finding the moments where you can have connection,
I think that yes, I do agree with everything that you're saying, but there is also, like, instead of saying rules, I think that sometimes when you go to a church, there's a certain amount of expectations, whether those are self-imposed or actually like imposed, by the establishment that you're visiting, because there's differences to the different churches. Catholicism is way different than any other, most SECTS, sect of Christianity. And one of the things about the branch that, our family's church is evangelical. And one of the premises of the evangelical church is that you go out and you evangelize, that it is your duty as a follower of Christ to go out and to spread the gospel of Christ and to bring people into the church, into giving their life to Jesus Christ, allowing him into your heart so that he might save you, so that you could spend eternity in heaven. There are expectations that are set, that are analyzed from the Bible that people should do to be Christ-like, the way that Christ was when, all of the different things that are written in the Bible about him, you should act how he acted. And there are the rules, I think, in the Bible, which is different because expectations are different than rules. And I think that the rules, to me, can be more self-imposed and imposed very strictly by certain churches. That's where I kind of have a little bit of a hit or miss when it comes to organized religion. But I do believe in a higher power. I believe in the presence of something greater than myself. And I think that presence has the capacity to come upon you in any moment in your life, especially in moments where you are feeling very grateful, or in a moment when you feel like you don't have purpose, where you feel, down and lower than the floor, and you feel like you ain't got a chance. But but sorry, it was getting a little heavy. But I think that, if you're interested in even like exploring, to me, I believe in a relationship with, like Jesus Christ, with a higher power, with the creator of the universe and the earth. So exploring the relationship that you can have with like spiritualness, I think that that's something everybody should figure out in their life. I think if you feel called to a certain church, you should feel comfortable going to that church and you should be accepted at that church. And I don't believe you should be judged whatsoever. And you shouldn't set expectations on yourself of how you should go into, that place, because you're not there for anybody else. You're there for yourself, and you're there to explore the relationship that you can have with God or with, like even people in the church, because there are some good people in the church. But yeah, I think that if anybody is interested, I would highly suggest checking out a church in your area. I think if you want to go to our church, they meet in Castro Valley at the community center, like 2 Sundays every month. I don't remember which ones, but you can reach out. I'll let you know.
I'm gonna say, what's the name?
Oh yeah, it's Shekinah Fellowship.
Shekinah.
Mm-hmm. Shekinah.
What does that mean? Does that have a meaning?
It does. I can't remember like the exact definition of it, but it's basically like I want to say it's like grace or like a holy place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like a sanctuary almost, maybe.
I don't think sanctuary. No. It has something to do. I know that it's like a word that you use to describe.
It is dwelling or settling of the divine presence of God.
I was going to say to divide to
Jewish theology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a dwelling or settling. It says used in Jewish and Christian theology to describe and manifest the presence of God among His people.
Say it again.
Shekinah.
Shekinah.
Mm-hmm. So Shekinah Fellowship, they meet at the Castro Valley Community Center 2 Sundays a month. I don't remember if it might vary, but I can get you information if you want, so let me know.
Also, she started singing the Peter Panda dance.
From the pacifier.
Have you seen the pacifier with Vin Diesel?
Oh my god. Okay.
So we were packing, and she just started singing that song out of nowhere, and I was like, "You know,
The Peter
whole
Panda?
Peter Pan like song?" And she was like, "Yeah," and I was like. So it's been stuck in my head all weekend.
No, for a second, I thought that was maybe like a church song.
I mean, it fits.
That's
It
why when
fit
you were
really
like,
well.
when you were like, oh my god, I can't believe. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I was like, I don't know that song. I don't really know any church songs.
I was asleep.
Oh man, I was like at the Peter Panda dance.
I take my moments when I can.
Oh shit, that was hilarious.
You know the song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now, I mean, when you say it now, when you first said it, though, I was like, maybe that's like a, you're feeling low, lower than the ground, whatever. I was like, you find Jesus or something, right? I was like, okay, get it, girl.
There's a
I
correlation.
don't know. I was like, maybe you guys learned that when you were kids. I don't know. I mean, but now that you said it, yeah, I hear it.
Oh. I'm glad you know it because she did it.
But I didn't know it in the moment.
No, I know. But I had to
oh.
say it because I was like, I thought about it. It's been in my head all weekend. So I've literally, every time it pops in my head, I'm singing it out loud.
All weekend, man. I'm crying.
I don't even know why I haven't seen that movie in hella long.
I don't know how you remembered it.
Dude, that's why I was like, you know the whole song?
I liked it.
It is a good song.
It was
though.
cute.
Oh man. That was funny.
Ooh.
Okay. But yeah, so
Check out their church, their family's church. Sorry, not theirs.
if you feel so inclined, we're not forcing anything. I'm for sure not forcing nothing.
No, that's why I said, like, if you're interested, you know.
I've gone a few times, and I mean, I don't know. Every time I go, I end up crying. Why? I don't really know.
I'm not sure.
But I do. Maybe you guys might need a little cry in your life. And I feel like the more you cry,
like free
the
therapy.
more they're like, yes. It's like it gets it out. You feel a little bit more fresh.
Cathartic.
Yeah.
I agree.
Church, man.
I'm gonna force it on you guys.
I'm like, I'm not. She's like,
Kidding.
I think if you want to, and you're like, no, you're going.
See you there.
honestly, I think that's exactly the same way it is when you do go to church, though. You have the people that are like, I'm not going to force it on you. If you want to come, come. You have the people that are like, like you're either here or not. And then there's the people that are like, I'll pick you up. I'll be at your house at 7:00 on Friday night. You're going to get in the car, So it's like, depending on what works for you, that's who you vibe with,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of, again, it's how I see church, just because I grew up in it, is that it does become your community. It's the people you surround yourself with. And it's, I think, usually good people. Yeah.
One would hope.
You would hope. I think,
I mean, it's just like everywhere you go.
Everywhere you
have
go.
good people, you have people who
and you
just
have
don't
people
mean
you
well for
vibe
you.
with and people you don't
Yeah.
exactly vibe with. It's people have different personalities.
But it's a
and
community,
that's what it is.
nonetheless.
Yes.
And
I think finding that community, and it was also nice to just be out in the community. I think that it gets you off of the screens, and I think you have it. At least for me, I'm a very selfish person. So being out and kind of outside of yourself and everything you've got going on, that there's people in this world that are going through a lot more than what you've got going on. So
agree, because I don't want to say I'm selfish, but I think I am.
Oh, I'm super selfish.
Like, I'd rather be home than do a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I'll do it, but sometimes I'm like, damn, why?
I could have been home.
But that's a different kind of selfish, because that's selfish with your time, energy, and peace. That's not really selfish, like not sharing with somebody or not being willing to share.
I don't share I don't really share, girl. No. Again, few people who I'm willing to do that for.
That's probably why I think of you as like a
Yeah,
really,
'cause you
you're
actually
really
care.
nice to me.
Yeah.
I give a shit about you.
She's like, she's in the inner sanctum. So like,
Yeah.
you're like, you know,
You're locked in, girl.
I'm like, what do you mean you're so nice?
that's exactly how we started saying like, oh, I could be a shitty person.
Like, you know, this sounds fucked up, right? But sometimes people at work will be like, ooh, what's that with your food? And you're just like, ceviche.
You don't want to tell me.
It's nothing crazy. Eat your
Nothing
food.
I'm gonna share
Really?
with you.
Yeah, I hate when people fucking do that shit. I'm like, unless
I
it's
don't
somebody
mind
I
it.
care
Yeah.
about, like somebody I hang out with on a regular, I'll be like, yeah, have some.
Yeah.
But if I don't, and I'm just like, and you just kind of come up and, well, what's that? I'm like,
Do people
Is it
often
because-
share food at your job?
I was gonna say, is it because there's an expectation for you to share because they asked what it was, or
I think there's groups of people who share with each other.
Okay.
But
So it's like a normal thing for people to share food. If you're like, oh, what's that? And you're like, oh, here, have some.
try it?
I mean, to their groups.
Yeah.
To their groups.
So if you're not a part of your
If
group.
you're not in the group, I'm eating alone. Why are you gonna ask me? What am I eating? Like,
I feel
me
like
eat.
to
I'm
me,
trying to watch my show. And
What
I'm
if
trying
it
to
looks
eat my
really
food.
good and
That's
they're
why
like,
I go to
"Ooh."
my car. Because
Yeah.
I do not need nobody bothering me.
I feel that way because I don't stay at work in the break room to eat my lunch.
I can't do
I
it
leave.
anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I used to. Now I'm out of school, so I go to the faculty break room.
See, but that's the thing too about community, right? Because like I went into the break room and I was talking to somebody and I was like, I could be more inviting to people because like he asked me how I was doing. I took a second to answer. And then he was like, that took a second. But I was going to say not bad. And then I was like, oh, I'm good. But I had to change it in my head. So then he was like, that took a second. And I was like, well, I was going to say not bad. But then I was thinking like, that's not what you should tell people sometimes. Because not every, like it's negative, right? So then I had to switch it. And he was like, well,
How's
you
that
should also.
negative if it's not bad?
Right? But bad is negative. So if people hear bad, then it goes negative. I don't know. People don't respond to me when I
Connotation.
say that. Like, so I'm like, okay, maybe switch it up. So then he was like, stay true to yourself, you know, like whatever, right? And then I was like, I mean, yeah, but I could also be more inviting, you know, like for conversation. And he was like, that's true too, you know? And then like we went into even more of a conversation after that. But I was like, okay, like trying to switch up how you talk.
And this is during your lunch?
Yeah, but that's why I don't because
That would piss me off.
I'm like heating up my
He
food.
seems so nice, but that shit would piss me off. I'll be
That's
like,
what I was like,
come to my cubicle when I'm back. Just wait. Ask me later. Let me finish eating. Because then you can't eat comfortably.
I was just
either.
warming up my food though. So then I grabbed it and I was like, okay, enjoy your lunch. And I left because I don't stay in there. I'm like, I don't want to talk while I'm trying to eat my food. Like I just, you know, it's weird.
I feel like I don't mind like at a
Am
food
I weird?
court.
No,
A food
I
court
have
or
a
whatever,
question.
eating around people, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when it's people who want to conversate, or I'm like, really?
Do you like this person?
I was gonna say, you don't like having conversations with people at work?
No.
I will
do,
talk to
but not
random.
on-
I talk to
I
random
feel
teachers.
like on my lunch
Hell
break,
no.
I want a break. I don't want to
Yeah.
really be around people.
like we're gonna be talking eventually. If I gotta see you every day, you know what I mean? Like we will.
No,
talk.
I don't talk
I'll
to
say
people, though.
hi.
Yeah,
but
that's why I'm like
also
maybe I should.
community.
Ah, bruh.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
got
that at work.
community at home.
You spend
I'm
more. You
cool.
would probably spend more time at work than you do at
And I
home.
shouldn't
that's
have
what
to
I
you
talk
should
to
build
you
your
every day.
community at
Even
work.
on my lunch. Like I see you
On
every
my
day, literally. Like I'm off the clock. I don't have to talk to you right now.
I feel like I'm in between you guys because I'm like that, but I'm trying not to be. So
I can't.
I think there are days, like, of course, there are days where I don't really want to interact or socialize, but for the most part, like, I don't mind having I feel like a short conversation and then you kind of cut it off and it's like, okay, I'm going to enjoy my lunch now.
If I choose to have lunch with someone, yes, I will have conversation. I will eat. I will have a good time because I want to eat with that person. I like having conversations with that person. There's probably maybe like 3 people in my job who I will do that with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Everyone else, please don't bother me.
Yeah, I stick with like my team. I have my team. So like we go to lunch together or like in our cubicles. But like outside of that, I don't see everybody else too often. So I'm not like in conversation with them. So it's just a little bit like, oh, we're talking. And then I'm like, but then does that make me mean? Because I'm like I don't normally talk to you. So why are you talking to me? But then I'm like, oh, but we work together. So we could have a conversation, right?
Nah.
Like it's not weird.
Nah.
See?
I can have a conversation, but not on lunch. I think that's what it is. That's the breaking point. Maybe on like
maybe
a
it's small talk.
break.
I was trying to
it's small
understand
talk
why
because
people
conversations
eat
are
in
different.
the
You don't like small talk. You don't like a hey, how are you? What's that?
I can
How's
do
it
that.
going?
Oh, hey, okay. See you later.
You don't want it. Oh,
I don't want you to bother my lunch.
I had a whole
She's like, it comes down to the lunch. She's like, I'm not being paid right now.
I can respect it. Speaking of, I'm not getting paid right now. I'm done.
You know what? Sometimes I have my headphones in. I'm watching
my
like
time.
a show. I'm watching Netflix or something. And I'm like, eating. And somebody will be like, oh, I gotta pause my shit to be like, what? And they'll be like, oh, whatever the fuck they'll say. And I'm like, okay.
Actually, that's my thing too, because I have my headphone. I'm usually listening to music. So, and I have one headphone in constantly. So, because I have my headphones in, I'm not always paying attention to what you're saying to me. So if I'm in my own world and you walk by, oh, hey, it takes a second. And then I start questioning, were you talking to me? And I asked this guy, like, did you talk to me? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh. And then like he walked into the bathroom and I was like,
so what you say? I would have went in the bathroom.
like,
now you bother me, I'm gonna bother you. What you say?
Oh my goodness.
But now in those moments, I'm like, this is why I don't talk to people. Like, do I not wear my headphones? No, because I don't really want to talk to you either.
I wouldn't have even looked up.
I was questioning.
I would have been like, I didn't hear him. So.
I think
But then it makes me rude.
If he got something to say that's really important, then he'll say it again.
Yeah.
He'll be
Yeah,
like, hey, did you hear me? And you'll be like, oh, what?
But I think that's also kind of just a situational awareness thing because to me, like the consideration that I have for someone else is if I see you with headphones in, I am not going to talk to you. You don't want to be talked to.
Because my headphones are small.
Yeah.
They go in my ear, like right here, and my hair sometimes covers it.
Okay.
So how would you know?
Your phone's in front of you.
That's true. I don't...
That's what I'm saying. There's a level, I think, of consideration that a lot of people don't really have nowadays. You lack situational awareness. You're not paying attention to the situation.
The phone thing is crazy because you're dead ass in a show or on TikTok, whatever the fuck you're doing. You're like busy doing something.
You're tuned in.
You're eating. Like, are you a waiter? Why are you bothering me right now? Them the only ones who I kind of pass when I have food in my mouth and you come to check on me.
That's the only way it's okay.
And they always tell me.
Only acceptable form.
Water?
Ooh.
Other than that, skedaddle and I'll see you inside.
I can respect that.
That's crazy. People are crazy.
Exactly.
People
are funny, man.
I get it. Okay, you can't see the headphone. Maybe, right? Maybe.
Tuck your hair behind.
I mean, I do. Like, I don't even eat in there no more.
So that's why I said I just leave.
I just don't. Or I'll wait. I mean, because now that I'm a supervisor, I don't have to go on lunch with everyone. Sometimes I do because, it's just easier to just go and get my stuff, whatever. Everybody's out. And then I come back and I can check on stuff, whatever. But if I can wait, I will wait.
Oh, I usually do too. Because I get there later than everybody else. So I'll push it to I start work at 9. So I'll push it to 2:30 and then go to lunch. Because at that point, nobody else is on their lunch. And if I'm going to get lunch somewhere, traffic's not as bad because all the other lunch people are back in. So pushing it past like a certain time for me, I do that. And then even like if I'm warming up food, everybody else is taking their lunches, you know?
They're like empty.
Yeah.
I don't even mind sitting in the break room then.
I don't really, people still, there's like offices on the other side of the break room. Our meeting room is it's the same room as the break room.
Oh.
So like if they have a meeting going on
and you're eating,
we're warming up our food or getting stuff out the fridge, like and they're just having a meeting right there. I know it's. I don't know why they
Low
set
budget.
it up that way. Stop it. It works because the space is big for the meetings. It's just uncomfortable if you don't like having an audience.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Everybody's like, some people got ADHD, so they're looking at you in.
Dude, as soon as I open, if I see people at that table, I turn back around like, I don't need to go in there right now. And there's people that are like, why? Come on, let's go. And I'm like, no, I don't need to know. I'll wait.
I might be a little nosy and want to know what the meeting's about, so I'll go in there. I'll be like, to warm my food. I won't stay to eat.
Yeah, no.
But I'll be like, what's going on?
The only way I'll go in there is if I'm just getting water or if I'm just grabbing something out the fridge. But I don't want to stand there and warm up my food.
I think this is an excellent segue to ask anybody who's listening. Do you take your lunch in your break room or do you go to your car? Because I think those are the two different options.
But again, if you have your group that you eat lunch with every day, that's... Yeah, you'll go in there because you already, like, most people have their designated chairs. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
I think I took this ladies this week.
I sit here every day and everybody knows it. You know what I mean? And as soon as somebody sits there, I swear to God, you get the...
Did you get that? You got that?
I feel like she came in and she was like very purposeful in her walk, and then she kind of like paused, and I thought I heard like a little but she had never
She's
really
like mid sandwich.
No, I was already done. I was just sitting there. I was like reading a book, but I was like,
I'm just in your space.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, now I feel kind of bad because I took my lunch a little later, so I was there when I should have already been back in class. And she came in on her lunch. So I think it was like, well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was your spot.
It's like unwritten rule that like I sit here.
And she's older, so I could imagine she's been there longer, and like that's where she always eats her lunch.
It's so funny.
I was like, okay, I'm going.
Sometimes I'd go like eat with one of my friends, and I'd go to another we have different buildings, right? And they each have their own break rooms. So one time I went and I ate at the other building, and I was like, oh, where should we sit? And I was like, right here is cool, right? We sit down, nobody's there. And then this group comes out for their lunch, same thing, and they're just like, oh. Like,
he took our spot.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, is your fucking name on here?
I knew you were gonna
like
say
the fuck.
that. Okay, guys. So for next week's episode, write in. Let us know. We'll put up a poll.
You got a designated lunch area,
or do you leave?
Do you eat with random people?
I leave. And
do you leave? I leave. If I have a choice, I'm leaving.
Lunchroom or car? Lunchroom or car?
Yeah. And do you just sit in your car? I leave. Like, I leave.
Sometimes I'll sit in my car if I go get lunch.
I will leave and park down the street.
Yeah. If I get lunch, sometimes I'll go, like, there's, like, a water area you can, like, park by.
There's, like, a parking lot next to where I work that has, like, it's, like, a whole thing it cuts through. But that parking lot, there's, like, a creek that runs through it. So I'll just kind of park there. But anyways, do you guys leave work or do you stay at work?
Let us know.
Yeah. Anyways, that was today.
Like, share, subscribe. I don't know.
Comment.
I'm not good at that. But
comment. Let us know.
And don't forget, follow the guys on theirs. Drops every Tuesday.
Check out White Noise every Tuesday. New episode comes out. Ours drops on Wednesday. So with that said, happy Wednesday. Hope that your day is going to be great. Maybe. Or it has been great if you're listening to this later in the day. Enjoy your lunch.
Bye.